Right now at 6, rescue crews in California race against the clock to locate a survivor in what's being called the deadliest avalanche in 45 years.
And we have red flag warnings across the area. We are warm, breezy, no outdoor burning. We're going to break this down for you coming up.
Plus, tens of thousands of acres in Oklahoma and Kansas burn under dry conditions and high winds. We'll have the latest.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
I'm Chris Warner. It is Thursday, February 19th, and that video you just saw just a few seconds ago, that's what we do not want to see here.
Yes.
We're talking tens of thousands of acres have burned out to the west. I told you yesterday about that video. It was like a blizzard in Wichita, but it was a blizzard of ash from those fires. So no outdoor burning. You cannot be careless with smoking materials. Anything you do that involves any kind of sparks. It will not take much with these dry conditions to start a fire, and then the winds themselves will allow it to spread very quickly.
And in just a few more minutes, we are going to hear from some local fire chiefs as well for some tips and tricks on some ways you can protect yourselves and your neighbor's property. Yeah,
absolutely. We got to watch out for each other out there. We got to make Smokey the Bear proud. This may not be a forest, but only you can prevent these fires. And that, I mean, it's a true statement.
Yes.
Only you can do this. So let's take a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Now, as I said, though, from the weather standpoint of things, temperatures today aren't bad. Skies are going to clear out. It's the winds and the dry conditions that are causing the problems for us. KDOT camera 69 400 looking back north, looking pretty good so far. And our final stop, MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin. Again, looking good. Those winds already picking back up again. If you look close enough, you can see the traffic light just every so often start wobbling back and forth. By the way, even when I was a kid and as an adult, I've always been amazed at how those things manage to handle that stress. They're designed quite well, I suppose. Red flag warnings, though. Nearly all of us through 8 o'clock this evening. These winds are going to be gusting upwards of 40. Now, there's something that we got to talk about, and I'm going to show you in just a moment on the future track because we're going to see some changes as we go through today. We're at look at this. We've warmed up in Pittsburgh. We're 63 in Joplin, 61 now in Pittsburgh, and across the area, most of us are into the upper 50s. We're seeing more low 60s off to the south and east. In fact, Neosho right now, the warm spot at 64. Yates Center, the cooler spot at 51. So I want to show you. So up to our north is that low pressure. We have very tight gradients around it, just meaning very gusty winds. And the wind direction, the flow or the wind direction around the low is counterclockwise. For the first portion of the day, the gusty winds will be out of the south and west. Okay? And then as the low tracks to the east, we get into the northwest winds. Now, I want to emphasize that even with that wind direction change as we enter the afternoon and evening hours, they will still be gusting 30, 40 miles an hour out there. The only difference for us that temperature-wise is we'll see the temperatures begin to gradually fall back. Kids out the door this morning, upper 50s. We'll be in the mid-60s for lunch and recess, and about the same when they come home. As I said, the temperatures won't plummet behind this low. They will gradually begin to drop off through the evening, which also means, though, between about 11 and 2, that's when most of us are going to hit our highs today into the mid-60s. And those southwest winds, 20 to 25, gusting to 40. And again, once you get on the northwest winds, still the same numbers. Still very breezy. Winds ease up after midnight and temperatures get much colder into the weekend. Details on that in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. At least 8 skiers were killed and a 9th remains missing in the nation's deadliest avalanche in nearly 50 years. The incident unfolded Tuesday on a mountain in the Lake Tahoe area. Ashley Sharp has more.
Rescue crews have found the bodies of 8 backcountry skiers killed in an avalanche near Lake Tahoe. The group was taking part in a 3-day guided ski trip in the Castle Peak area when intense storms moved in Tuesday, dumping several feet of snow.
8 of the 9 additional skiers have been located deceased. We are still looking for one of the members at this time.
6 additional members of the group were found alive after reportedly seeking refuge in trees.
They were sheltered. They had themselves already started, looking for their teammates and their clients that were missing in the avalanche.
Authorities are continuing to search for one remaining skier. Sheriff's officials say they presume the missing person has died due to the weather conditions on the mountain. This week's avalanche is the deadliest in the U.S. since 1981, when 11 climbers were killed on Mount Rainier in Washington. An avalanche warning was in effect for the Tahoe region on Tuesday, with high risk noted at any elevation.
It was reported by the individuals that survived that they were attempting to go out as a group, that someone saw the avalanche, yelled avalanche, and then it overtook them.
The Nevada County Sheriff says recovery teams will not be able to head back up the mountain until the weather clears, which could take several days. Ashley Sharp, CBS News.
2 tractor trailers collided last night on I-44, causing one of them to catch fire. Missouri State Highway Patrol relayed that there were injuries, but the driver was out of the burning semi. A driver was trapped in the second semi, but was alert and talking. MoDOT emergency alert state the interstate was closed last night on eastbound, causing traffic to be backed up for miles. Well, 3 Oklahoma firefighters were injured in a fire truck crash on Tuesday, responding to the massive wildfires in the northwest corner of the state. According to the Ralston Volunteer Fire Department, thick smoke made it impossible to see the road, causing the fire truck to roll down the hill and catch fire. The department also stressed their need for donations, as some of their trucks are in need of critical repairs to stay fire ready. The 3 firemen are currently recovering, with 2 of them already out of surgery and the 3rd in stable condition. A number of fires have swept through tens of thousands of acres. Nearly a third of the residents in the northwestern Oklahoma town of Woodward were urged to evacuate, but authorities have since lifted that recommendation. Smoke in some areas have impacted visibility and traffic. Governor Kevin Stitt declared a state of emergency in Beaver, Texas, and Woodward counties due to wildfires. The scene is similar in parts of south central Kansas. Some residents who had evacuated their homes are now returning. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly issued a state of emergency on Monday, which is in effect until Thursday. Smoke and ash from these fires have traveled as far as the Chicago area, where it mixed with rain to leave dust on vehicles. As the high winds and dry grass create fire conditions across the 4 states, KOAM's Nellie Lopez spoke with a couple of fire chiefs to get simple steps that could save your property and your neighbors.
This year already, we've had between 10 to 15 grass fires.
Those numbers alone coming from the Reddings Mill Fire Department. With high winds coming around and dried grasslands, the 4 states is putting out a fire advisory. Redding Mill's fire chief warns a fire can easily break loose and it doesn't need to be purposely ignited.
You've got a car that's backfiring, not in good mechanical condition, sparks come out the tailpipe, pulling a trailer with the chains that are dragging. Keep the cigarette butts in the car, don't flip them out. Cigarette butts, even though they're designed to be self-extinguishing.
With warmer weather, a cookout may be tempting. Fire Chief Mike Gordon from Crawford County mentions they have no issue with natural gas or propane.
Those not considered to be open burning by our standards. So those are perfectly okay. Just don't dump the ashes in the yard. Don't dump them in a plastic trash can or anything like that. Make sure that they're extinguished correctly and properly, and that there's no way for them to start any kind of a vegetation fire.
Extinguishing the ashes correctly is highly recommended. Some of the wildfires that have occurred weren't even ignited that same day.
Even if it was 7 to 10 days ago, please take a few minutes to go out, make sure it's still out. The wind will stir those ashes, and we've had fires that have started 7 to 10 days after they've been thought to be out.
Put a lot of water on it, and then use a shovel or something to stir it up and put more water on it. And then when you think you're done, put some more water on it.
In the 4 states, Nellie Lopez, KOAM News.
You can check your fire department's social media to see if your city or county is under a fire ban. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. A member of the royal family is arrested in connection with an ongoing criminal investigation. And temps are dropping below normal heading into the weekend. Chris has a look at your Thursday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch, 13 NATO countries held joint military exercises along the coast of Germany. Thousands of troops, several warships, and aircrafts are mobilized for the drills off the Baltic Sea. It comes as the 4th anniversary of Russia's war in Ukraine nears. The U.S. is not taking part in these military drills, but military officials say the U.S. absence is coincidental and not due to political tensions. The military exercise began last month and includes land, air, maritime, cyber, and special operations. It's designed to test NATO's ability to rapidly deploy and integrate forces from different nations. Well, British police have arrested the brother of King Charles in their investigation into the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Former Prince Andrew was taken into custody this morning. CBS's Tina Cross is tracking developments in London.
The arrest of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the younger brother of King Charles III, comes on Andrew's 66th birthday. The former prince, who was stripped of his royal titles late last year over his ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, is now in custody on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Police arrested him at his home on one of the king's royal estates this morning, a few hours outside of London. They're now carrying out searches at 2 addresses in the area. They're also assessing reports the former royal sent sensitive trade reports to the billionaire pedophile back in 2010. Multiple police departments across the UK previously said they were reviewing ties between Andrew and Epstein, including allegations a woman was trafficked here to Britain by Epstein to have a sexual encounter with the king's brother. Andrew has always denied any wrongdoing in relation to Epstein, saying he regrets their friendship. The arrest of a member of the royal family is an extraordinary development, considered unprecedented in the modern history of the British monarchy. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Well, still to come, a rock icon announces a new tour while popular boy band extends their Las Vegas residency. Plus, temps are dropping below normal heading into the weekend. Chris has a look at your Thursday forecast. Backstreet's back in here to stay for a bit longer. Plus, Bruce Springsteen makes a big announcement about his return to the stage. Gwen Baumgarten has your Eye on Entertainment report.
Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime performance is making a mark on Spain. This mural in Barcelona has become a popular tourist attraction in recent days, depicting the Puerto Rican singer holding a football that reads, "Together, we are America." The boss is headed on tour.
Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band will be taking the stage this spring.
Bruce Springsteen made the announcement on social media, inviting fans to his upcoming Land of Hope and Dreams American tour. The announcement comes just weeks after the musician released his latest piece of political commentary through the song Streets of Minneapolis. The upcoming tour kicks off in Minneapolis at the end of March. Meanwhile, the Backstreet Boys are extending their Into the Millennium residency at Sphere Las Vegas, celebrating 25 years of their Millennium album. The popular boy band is adding 6 new summer shows. Tickets go on sale next Friday. And Wild Boys Strangers in Town dives into the fear and confusion one town faced after 2 boys appeared in their area without any record of their existence, claiming they'd lived off the grid their whole lives.
Who are these guys? Why are they here?
Where do they come from? What's their story?
The 2-part documentary follows the true story about the search for answers. Wild Boys Strangers in Town is available today exclusively on Paramount+. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
There are so many interesting documentaries coming out that I just need to catch up on. Well, now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, again, we are dealing with red flag warnings today. Very gusty winds, very dry conditions, leading to dangerous fire conditions. We're going to break that down and talk about the colder air that's on the way when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now, 6:19. We'll be right back.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 6:21 on this Thursday morning. We got a lot to cover and not as much time to cover it in, so we're going to get right to it. All right, our fire weather outlook for today. We have elevated fire conditions in the yellow, critical in the red, and we have red flag warnings that go right along with that across most of the region through 8 this evening. Cannot emphasize enough. No outdoor burning. I'm not just talking about don't burn your brush pile. Obviously, don't do that. You've got to be extraordinarily cautious. We heard earlier, the cigarettes, even though they're self-extinguishing, those 2 or 3 seconds it takes is going to be enough in the dry conditions that it could start a fire that then with the winds could spread very quickly. Like I said, I'm not picking on welders, but it's a good example. Sparks. The fire chief earlier mentioned sparks from chains. Backfire from your car. It won't take much, given how dry it's going to be, to get a fire started. How dry is it going to be? These humidity levels by noon today. 9% Nowata, Grove, Miami, 10%, 15% humidity. And as you can see going through the day, it doesn't get any better. Now, the other caveat that I want to mention is we will still be very dry heading into tomorrow, which means outdoor burning still not recommended. The biggest difference from today to tomorrow is the fact that we won't have 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts going along with these dry conditions, but still, you got to be careful. So here's the thing. You see that spin up there? That's that low pressure system. It is giving us the gusty winds, okay? Now, what will happen is as that low tracks off slowly to the east-northeast, eventually into north-central Missouri, the winds will begin to shift out of the northwest. I want to emphasize that even with the wind shift, those gusts are still going to be upwards of 30 to 40 miles an hour. The only thing that it'll do differently is bring in cooler air. Now, the good news is as well, our temperatures will not plummet with that low, but it will get colder as we head into the weekend. You can see by Friday, this is wind gusts 5 to 7. So we're better, but you still need to be cautious with burning. Let's get on to the future track. Now today, not much. Clouds out there, they're going to clear out. Not a bad day in terms of that, but we have the winds and we have the cooler weather on the way. Temperatures again dropping through the afternoon and evening slowly. It's not a plummet, slowly. And we are cooler, but seasonably cool for our Friday. Partly cloudy skies out there, and we've talked about the wintry mix. Now we can kind of show you what we're talking about, how isolated in our area it's going to be. There's a shower by Bartlesville tomorrow night. Light flurries, a little wintry mix heading into Saturday morning. Not much to it, and after that, we're good. So here's what we've got to start our day with. Upper 50s out there, mid 60s by 11 a.m. Now we're going to end up hitting our highs. In fact, just about all of us are going to hit our highs between about 11 and 2. And then temperatures will slowly fall back into the 50s and 40s through the evening. We're back into the 20s tonight. Winds ease up after midnight. Seasonably cool tomorrow. Temperatures actually below normal through the weekend into the 40s. And then we'll start to warm up again through next week. That is a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Long-term exposure to air pollution raises your risk for Alzheimer's disease. An Emory University study found that the harmful effects of air pollution have the largest impact on people who had survived a stroke. The study author says improving air quality could be an effective way to prevent dementia and Alzheimer's disease. CBD use is on the rise for people and for pets. Products containing CBD are often marketed to help with pain and sleep, but could it help with aggression and dogs? Gwen Baumgarten digs into the latest research for our four-legged friends.
Despite it raining cats and dogs, behavioral trainer Brett Endies takes his dog Sue through a list of commands at this LA dog park.
Sit.
While Sue is a good boy, Endies regularly works with dogs exhibiting aggression.
Yeah, all day long.
Data from the Dog Aging Project found that more than 55% of dog owners reported some aggressive behaviors in their pets. The project includes more than 47,000 dogs. Data also indicated a link between dogs becoming less aggressive following long-term use of CBD or hemp products.
It is very important that people know we are not saying run out and get CBD. This is an interesting finding that needs to be further pursued.
Dr. Julia Albright is one of the co-authors of a study into CBD use and dog aggression. Researcher analysis noted behavioral changes in dogs with consistent CBD use for at least 2 years as compared to dogs with no use, pointing to potential long-term benefits on temperament. Dr. Albright underscores the need for more research, noting the amount and type of CBD product varied in the dog data they analyzed, and a dog's CBD use was sometimes prompted by pain management, not aggression.
And I can tell you right now as a specialist, it is never going to be a treatment alone.
Endies agrees, but does recommend CBD to some of his clients.
I really find that it works best in complement to a very thorough, consistent training program, having the proper relationship with the dog, giving the dog the right outlets.
Labeling CBD products as a potential tool, not a quick fix. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, some Joplin High School students design a high-tech way to help the homeless population.
We have red flag warnings in place for most of the area today. Dangerous fire conditions and dry weather. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, students and teachers hit the campus of MSSU for an education career fair.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6:30. I'm Samantha Walker.
I'm Chris Warner. It is Thursday, February the 19th, and got a lot of weather to talk about. We got to get you out the door, but today is the day that we've got red flag warnings out there. We have been talking for days about the fire situation. We've been showing you what's happened out west. We do not want that happening here.
No.
And it won't take much of a spark anywhere with how dry it is to start a fire, and then you factor in 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and it can spread very quickly.
Yes, it's a dangerous situation, certainly.
Absolutely. So please just be safe, be smart, be responsible out there. Let's start with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh, where again, we're not too bad. Skies are going to begin to clear out as we head through the morning hours. KDOT camera 69-400 just south of Pittsburgh looks pretty good as well. And our final stop, MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Looking good, folks getting their day underway. And again, every so often, and you can kind of see it, the glare is making it a little harder, but you'll see that traffic light just waving back and forth. And we're not even at peak wind gusts yet across the region. Red flag warnings for nearly all of us through 8 this evening. This is the situation. We are talking critical fire conditions across the area. We cannot stress it enough. There are so many small things that you might not even think about that could start a fire. Fire chiefs earlier in the show talking about your car backfiring, the chains if you're towing something, dragging on the road. It won't take very much to start a potential fire that could then grow very rapidly. So do use caution. Our temperatures, very mild. 63 in Joplin right now, 59 in Pittsburgh. I'll remind you, our average high is 50. We don't have anybody there. The closest we have is our cool spot, Yates Center at 51. Then you head off to the south and east, we get warmer. We've got some mid-60s almost out there, 64. Neosho, Cassville, the 2 warm spots in the area. So we have a low pressure up by Kansas City, Kansas. As it lifts off to the north and east, it will eventually reach north central Missouri. Around it, very tight pressure gradient, just leading to us for very gusty southwest winds. Now, as we go into the afternoon, and that low does eventually start to track east, the flow around that low pressure is counterclockwise, so we'll see the winds transition out of the northwest. Through the evening, we'll still have gusty winds. It's just this time they'll be out of the north and west instead of out of the southwest. They'll still be pushing 40 miles an hour. Kids out the door, upper 50s, mid 60s, lunch, recess, and for the drive home. That is because we're looking at hitting our highs between about 11 and 2. And then, again, temperatures will not plummet as the winds transition, but as they do, they will gradually fall back through the afternoon and evening. And again, initially, southwest winds gusting to 40. Behind this low, or as it tracks east, northwest winds gusting to 40. Now, those northwest winds, again, they're bringing in cooler air, and that gets pretty darn cold this weekend. Details on that in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Joplin JAG students tackle homelessness with a new website after discovering resources were difficult to find. The students worked with city leaders and nonprofits to create a comprehensive guide for people experiencing homelessness. The project stems from a national JAG office assignment focused on community service.
Transportation. Like, some people might not know that we have like buses that you can take around town. Or even there's a thing where you can call someone to drive you places.
The website breaks down available resources in Joplin and provides step-by-step information for accessing help. Students discover transportation remains one of the biggest barriers for people seeking assistance. Missouri Southern State University hosted its annual education career fair, bringing together students in dozens of school districts from across the 4-state area. 52 districts, including Kansas City, Wichita, Tulsa, Joplin, and Springfield, were on hand to connect with future educators. A wide variety of positions were represented, including elementary, middle, and high school teaching, as well as special education and early childhood.
Why the Education Career Fair is special to me is because we get to see students who've worked really hard for 4 straight years in gaining competencies in curriculum, and now they get to connect with employers and start to learn how they get to apply those skills from the classroom into their own classroom in the future. And that's what excites me about the Education Career Fair.
The fair is a chance to meet employers face to face, learn about different districts, and start turning the skills they've built over 4 years into careers of their own. Vernon County residents got a chance to learn more about the proposed Vernon County Hospital District at the Nevada Community Center. Members of the Nevada Regional Medical Center Board were on hand to provide information and answer questions about what having a county-wide hospital district could do and what their tax dollars would go towards.
Going to hit some people in the pocketbook more than just a regular sales tax, and so that's where the concerns are at, and hopefully we can help those folks feel more comfortable, and we can help them see the value in having a hospital, and hopefully, at some point those taxes can go back down.
The Vernon County Commission approved the measure go to the April ballot back on their February 3rd meeting after a petition in favor of creating the district received enough signatures. Over 250 students from Southeast Kansas schools united for a musical celebration yesterday. From Yates Center to Uniontown to Pleasanton, the Three Rivers League Music Festival at Southeast High School featured 11 of the league's 15 schools. Students practiced solos and ensembles in the morning before joining together for mass band and choir performances in the afternoon.
It's a very fun day. It's very exciting, and everybody has a great time and really enjoys making music together. It does make the day a little bit hectic because we actually, with all of our guests, we tripled our usual population in the building. So it was a very busy building today.
The festival has been hosted in numerous schools in Southeast Kansas since 2018. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Want to save money on gas? A new study reveals the cheapest day of the week to fill up your tank. In Consumer Watch, if you want to save a little money at the gas pump, you should hear this. A new report from Gas Buddy reveals the most affordable days of the week to fill up your tank. The report says some states follow a pronounced pattern known as price cycling, when prices reset on a specific day, then slowly decline over the next several days. The study finds that on average, the cheapest day of the week to get gas in Missouri is Sunday, while Wednesday through Friday is the most expensive time. In Kansas, the best day to fill up is typically on Saturday. Gas Buddy says on average, drivers can save 4 to 9 cents per gallon by purchasing gas on the lowest price day of the week. Well, planning a trip soon, Expedia's 2026 Air Hack says Tuesday is now the cheapest day to fly domestically, while Fridays are cheapest for international flights. Expedia says Friday is also the best day to snag the cheapest fares, and August is the cheapest month to fly internationally, saving travelers on average close to 30% over flying in December. Well, getting a great picture of yourself has gotten a lot easier and cheaper thanks to artificial intelligence. Experts say the AI-generated headshot market is booming, but there are some things to watch out for when using a virtual portrait for a job search. Evan Moon has tips from career experts.
From a lens to a laptop, headshots are getting a high-tech makeover as artificial intelligence changes what it means to get camera ready. A recent study found 44% of people would consider using an AI photo of themselves.
It's fast, it's simple, it's cost-effective.
We spoke with Sam DeMace, a career expert at ZipRecruiter, about using AI-generated portraits professionally.
You risk the idea of corporate catfishing. AI tools can cause a rubbery or plastic-like effect on your skin. A poorly edited AI headshot is going to trigger a lack of trust from the recruiter immediately.
Professional photographers are seeing the trend impact their business.
I think there's a fear in every line of work that AI might take our jobs, and photographers are no exception.
Peter Hurley has been capturing faces for over 25 years.
Hold that, very nice.
And wrote a book called The Headshot.
I want to get the real you. I want to get the real person. I want to give them a headshot that they're proud of. I want to stamp this moment in time for them.
Hurley says people have come to him after trying AI, describing the results as stale.
I think everybody's sick of AI already. I don't think anybody's going to take an AI headshot and slap it on a wall.
We reached out to LinkedIn about the trend. A spokesperson said, "We recommend being authentic in your profile picture as this helps maintain trust. We do allow the use of tools, including AI, to enhance or create profile photos. However, the photo must reflect your likeness. LinkedIn can remove photos that don't comply with their policies." Still, Sam DeMace says AI headshots can be a bargain compared to studio sessions that can cost hundreds of dollars.
If you don't have the free income to hire a photographer, having the option to use AI to help you make a professional headshot that's going to land you a higher paying job, that does democratize the process.
Her tips: give an AI platform multiple real photos to work with, use a clean background, and double check the details. Evan Moon.
Today in sports, signing season is never over as athlete signings continue to put pen to paper. In Labette County, 7 athletes signed their national letters of intent to continue their athletic careers yesterday, starting with a pair of volleyball players, Amory Baker and Malaya Broadwell, with the duo deciding to stay home and play together, signing with Labette Community College. 2 softball players signed as well, starting with Avery Duvall, who is off to Fort Hays Tech Northwest, and Carson Moore, who is headed to Southwestern Christian University. On the gridiron, 3 more Grizzlies are continuing their careers, with another pair of teammates deciding to stick together at the next level, as Michael Reed and Keegan Bates are both headed to Butler Community College. Bryson Dickens, on the other hand, has decided to be the newest defensive lineman for Coffeyville Community College.
I had the offers, Butler, everyone, but Coffeyville was just right there, right down the road. It just felt right. You get that feeling.
It was actually pretty easy. They offered me super fast. They were consistent, texting me all the time. And I think they were just like the best option, from the visit to the coach to the facility. I think it was all just great.
It means the world to me. These are my brothers, and it just shows how hard we worked over the past years with each other and without each other. So I just think that I'm excited for Bryson to go to Coffeyville, and I'm excited to go with Michael and room with each other and get after with each other.
The offseason continues to roll on in the NFL, and the Chiefs front office is staying busy with coaching staff additions and salary cap adjustments. On Wednesday, Kansas City accomplished both. Coming into yesterday, the Chiefs sat more than $57 million over the cap, but for the 4th straight year, Kansas City has restructured franchise quarterback Patrick Mahomes' contract. With this move, KC frees up over $43 million in cap space. More moves are needed to get underneath the cap by the start of the league year in March, whether it's manufacturing, restructuring more contracts, or releasing players. The Chiefs also made another addition to the coaching staff on Wednesday, hiring Andre Curtis as defensive back and safeties coach. Curtis has strong ties to defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo, coaching alongside Spags during his time with the Giants, Rams, and Saints. In total, Curtis has 2 decades of NFL coaching experience. That's it for sports. Now here's Chris with a quick look at the weather.
Yeah, again, we do have those dangerous fire conditions, so here's a look at what you need to know for today. We've got red flag warnings for most of the region through 8 this evening, so absolutely no outdoor burning across the area. Our temperatures, while they won't plummet, will drop tonight, and we are looking at below normal temperatures continuing as we head through the weekend. We're going to talk about all of that, break down how dry it's going to be, just how cold it's going to get, and when we'll warm up again. When we take a look at your forecast, we're also going to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries right after this time. Now 6:44. We'll be right back. Time now for some Thursday birthdays and anniversaries, and we are starting in Veneta with Grace Farrell celebrating birthday number 5. Says happy birthday with love from Mom and Dad.
And in Webb City, Leighton Bickett is celebrating birthday number 8. Happy birthday, Leighton.
And over in Oswego, Tatum Johnson celebrating number 13. Welcome to the teen years, Tatum. Happy birthday.
And in Bronaugh, Bill Daniels is celebrating birthday number 20. Happy birthday, Bill.
And over to Frontenac, where Lane Sullivan is celebrating number 21 today. Happy birthday, Lane.
And in Columbus, Blake Gerber is celebrating birthday number 27. It says happy birthday from Kinsey, Blakely, and the whole family. Happy birthday, Blake.
And in Pittsburgh, Bryce Cummins celebrating birthday number 30 today. A very happy birthday to you, Bryce.
And in Columbus, Mila Yager is celebrating birthday number 73. Happy birthday, Mila.
All right, we got a very special birthday here. Here's why. You see, we have a very incredible director that's actually punching these buttons right now in the back, and his name's Tim Coffey. This is his grandmother, Joyce Coffey, and she's celebrating birthday number 78 in Carterville. It says, happy birthday, Grandma. Grandma Joe, with love from Tim and the boys. So, Tim, I have to ask, because he can talk to me, is that you in this photo? Okay, it is. That's young Tim. So, Joyce, a very happy birthday to you, and we are just so excited to have Tim here, and we are very excited to celebrate your birthday today as well. So, very happy birthday.
Well, in Sarcoxy, Gloria Zerbania is celebrating another year. It says, have a great day, your loving husband, Danny. Happy birthday, Gloria.
And over to Scammon, Janet Humble, celebrating another year wiser as well. A very happy birthday to you, Janet. And a very happy birthday to every single person on our list. We love celebrating these birthdays, and I know you do as well. And if you would like to celebrate with us, Samantha has some very simple information for you.
Yes, pay attention to this email. It's birthdays@KYMNewsNow.com. That's where you can send those photos, those birthdays, those anniversaries, or those special messages you want us to include. But also make sure you pay plenty of attention to that deadline that you can see on your screen, so that way we can make sure to get it in plenty of time to be able to celebrate with you on your special day.
All right, so I wasn't paying plenty of attention. I just kept backing up and backed right into the wall. That's why she laughed. That is a solid wall, though, to our engineers. That's a very solid wall because it stopped me, and I didn't go through it, so that's good. All right, now that the fun's out of the way, we do have to get a little serious for a moment, because while this isn't severe weather, you need to take this situation just as seriously. We have elevated to critical fire conditions across the area. What does that mean? It means that it won't take much to start a very large wildfire. We're at a point with how dry we are and how windy it's going to be. A simple spark could start a fire that will spread very quickly. You have got to play it smart. I know we say Smokey the Bear like it's a joke, but really only you can prevent these kinds of fires today. Welders, again, not picking on you, but just a great example. Lots of sparks there. The fire chiefs have talked about cars backfiring, throwing out your cigarette. Even though they'll self-extinguish, they don't immediately. And that's all that this grass needs out there. These dry conditions, that's all it needs is that little spark. Chains from a trailer, if you're towing something. Any little thing could set it off. And so you have got to be smart and be cautious with anything you're doing that could potentially cause a fire. We have red flag warnings across virtually the entire area through 8 this evening. Look at these humidity levels by noon. That is very dry air, and it does not improve as we go through the afternoon into the late evening. I mean, yeah, you can see some of us 20 to 25% relative humidity. That's still not, I mean, it's nothing. That's still not enough. And as we go into Friday, we are still just as dry by Friday afternoon as we will be today. The big difference between here and there is we're not looking at 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts on Friday, but still a light breeze in these conditions and a careless spark could still cause some serious problems. We don't have a light breeze today. This low pressure, man, it's what's causing all of these issues for us. It's also what's going to bring in our colder air. We will have winds gusting in a range from 20 to 40, okay? I mean, we're going across the whole region. And they'll initially be out of the southwest. As that low tracks east, we'll switch into northwesterly winds, and through the late evening, those northwest winds will still be gusting upwards of 30, 40 miles an hour in some cases. We won't see things begin to ease up until late tonight, very early tomorrow. And like I said, by Friday afternoon, and remember, this is the gust tracker. This isn't the breeze. This is the gusts. We're talking gusts to 5, so much calmer winds tomorrow. But between here and there, you've got to be smart about everything. Quick look at the future track. So today, again, from the weather side, excluding the wind, we're all right. Clear skies out there. Friday, wanted to show you, we talked about that wintry mix stuff that could come in late Friday into early Saturday. Well, here's what it looks like on the future track by about 11 o'clock. A couple of showers by Bartlesville, a few flurries here and there. You can see it's not very impressive, and it's done pretty quickly on our Saturday as well. We're going to have another look at your forecast in just a moment, and when we transition to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., this lawsuit just determined the age-old question: are boneless wings still wings? The answer to that and a lot more at 7.
This is your Wake Up recap for February 19th. Your top stories to start your day. 3 Oklahoma firefighters were injured Tuesday when their truck crashed while responding to wildfires in the northwest part of the state. Roston Volunteer Fire Department says heavy smoke made it impossible to see the road, causing the truck to roll down a hill and catch fire. The department is asking for donations to repair equipment and says 2 firefighters are out of surgery while a third is in stable condition. That's a check of today's Wake Up recap.
And remember, red flag warnings across most of the region through 8 this evening. Southwest winds gusting to 40. Early highs between 11 and 2 into the mid-60s. Temperatures falling slowly as winds will shift out of the northwest. They're still gusting to 40 though. So again, absolutely no outdoor burning. Clear skies into the evening. Again, a gradual drop. Upper 30s by 10. Upper 20s for our lows tonight. And late tonight, early tomorrow, northwest winds at 5 to 10. Tomorrow, cold but seasonably so, about 50. And again, a brief isolated wintry mix late tomorrow into early Saturday is possible. Most of us won't see anything. Below normal temperatures into the weekend, and another warm up as we head into next week. But again, can't stress it enough. Be very cautious. No outdoor burning. Watch out for things that could potentially spark a fire because it won't take much for it to grow.
Yeah, it'll escalate very quickly.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Chris. Coming up today at noon, we're making cracked peppercorn pork in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOM with CBS Mornings. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg denies his company intentionally makes its products addictive. Next on CBS Mornings, details of his testimony in the landmark case about kids and social media use.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Mercy Dr. Victoria Shirley is in the studio to talk to us about a woman's health issue.
Plus, Captain Austin Wolf with the Joplin Police Department joining us to tell us about some popular scams going around. They're not so popular for those being scammed, but what's happening and what you can do to protect yourself and your family. However, that is going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
We'll see you today at noon.